ANAFI. ANAFI. What is that? As far as I know, this is a Greek island where you go to spend your summer holiday. Until last week, where the French company Parrot released a drone by the same name. The Parrot ANAFI is definitely positioned against the DJI Mavic Air, coming in at $699 US. Let me bring you up to speed with what I know so far and give you 10 reasons why you might consider the Parrot ANAFI over the Mavic Air. But before we get to that, let's roll that intro. Are you new around here and want to improve your video skills, learn about e-wheels, then consider subscribing to my tips, tests and tutorials. With the ANAFI, it's all about the camera and about being able to capture new and exciting perspectives. The camera is, as expected, a 4K camera that records up to 30 FPS. They used a slightly bigger sensor than we know from the Mavic Air and Mavic Pro, and they managed to cram in amazing 21 megapixels compared to the 12 that we know from the DJI drones. They need a increased amount of megapixels because the axis, even though it's 3-axis stabilized, the stabilization in the yaw motion is not done mechanically but digitally, and that offers some advantages. With this approach, the camera can be tilted 90 degrees upwards, giving a full 180 degrees of freedom, allowing to capture some really unique perspectives never seen before. As 4K video only needs 8 megapixels, then there's plenty of room with 21 megapixels to introduce another really great feature, that is digital lossless zoom. And this is pretty cool because this will give you lossless zoom at full HD around a factor 3. The design is pretty compact. It's a bit longer when it's folded than the Mavic Air, but it's also lighter. It comes in at 374 grams compared to the 434 grams that we know from the Mavic Air. On top of that, they managed to make the construction in a way so they don't need any gimbal cover to protect the camera. The video format is H.264 and the bitrate is around 100 megabit per second like we know from the Mavic Air. But the ANAFI should be able to do this in HDR. I'm really curious how this will benefit the dynamic range in real life. And this might be a blessing to some of us. The Parrot ANAFI does not come with a no-fly zone restrictions like we know from the DJI. It's basically up to you to decide if you want to fly or not. And this is really a good news because the no-fly zones from DJI, I found those not to be very precise and introduce a lot of limitations in areas where they shouldn't. You can still limit the area where the ANAFI is flying by setting up custom geofencing. Plenty of flight modes available right out of the box. This is highly inspired by the competition, but they do offer something that DJI Mavic Air does not, and it's some sort of waypoint missions. It's called Tap to Map, where you just tap on the map and the ANAFI will go there. Flight time has already now been recorded to whopping 25 minutes compared to the 16 to 18 minutes that I've experienced myself with the Mavic Air. So this is a big win for the Parrot ANAFI. Another really smart feature is that each battery can be charged with a standard USB-C connector and also act as a power bank. And of course it can take pictures. It supports both RAW and JPEG. And because of the large sensor, you can do 21 megapixel wide images, a resolution of 5344 times 4016. Those are the 10 things that you might consider buying the Parrot ANAFI against the Mavic Air. But isn't there anything bad to say about this ANAFI? Yes, of course, there are downsides compared to the competition. Let's look at those. ANAFI suffers from the same weakness, in my opinion, as the Mavic Air. It's a Wi-Fi operated drone based on the same approach with a dual band 2.4 and 4.8 gigahertz connection. The range has been stated for 4 kilometers, which should be more than sufficient as you're not allowed to fly out of sight in most countries. But as we all know, it's the stability of the connection that counts when you talk about Wi-Fi drones. So it'll be really interesting to see how well it holds up in real life. Even though both the Mavic Air and the Parrot ANAFI relies on the same GPS, GLONASS GPS system to hold its position, the ANAFI does only have downward facing sensors and no obstacle avoidance sensors in the front or back. Also, I noticed there's an in-app purchase thing going on that Parrot has introduced. This is kind of new and it's very unfamiliar to us, to those of us that has been using the DJI products. But I would reckon this is a way of Parrot to charge for new features being brought to the platform. So I really don't like that. I like the surprises that you get with the DJI Go app every time that you update. So this is basically what I picked up about the ANAFI so far, and to me it looks like a pretty interesting drone. Have you picked up additional info that has not been mentioned in this video? Then feel free to share them with me and some of the other subscribers in the comment section below. So what do you think about the Parrot ANAFI? Do you think it will stack up against the DJI Mavic Air? Personally, I think they've done a decent job with this drone and they have studied their competition well. It's a real competitor to the Mavic Air as far as I see it, as it brings a few new things to the table. I think it will do very well if it delivers on its promises. The real test will be how stable the connectivity is and how it handles in real life. So Parrot, if you're watching this, let me take a closer look and put it to the test. I really embrace the competition and I like new products being introduced to the market to take up competition with the dominant DJI. This all keeps keep the companies on their toes and produce better products by the end of the day to us as consumers. Thank you for watching, and if you're new around here, then consider subscribing to my tips, tests and tutorials and hit the bell notification next to it so you don't miss out on updates from me. Thank you for watching and see you on the next one.